It has been a manic, dramatic and chaotic boxing test between India and Australia. The visitors will head to Sydney though, staring at a 1-2 deficit. And the test has produced some questions and criticisms more than answers for Indian cricket. At the heart of it all is the age-old debate, youngsters versus the seniors. That's happened over the course of the 5 days. Youngsters seem to have stepped up to the Aussie onslaught. Well, all youngsters, but Jaiswal Bumrah, he's absolutely been brilliant in this entire series. There were some sparks for India. Nitish Reddy scored a memorable 100 in India's first innings that happened over the weekend. That 100 struck a chord with everyone because behind that century was the hard sacrifices of an entire family who witnessed this heroic moment from the stands. There's a reason Ravi Shastri, India's former cricketer and commentator, shed happy tears in that commentary box, unable to even speak on what clearly was India's highlight in this test. Washington Sundar, another youngster, stayed firm, playing the supporting role during that wonderful knock. Yashasvi Jaiswal, he tried to stand tall and delivered with 250s in this test, and that's where the good news for India ends. Nothing else came close to being impactful enough to bring any change and create opportunities or show some fight. There were too many bloopers in that test, dropped catches, flaring tempers, silly runouts. India only have themselves to blame to have, at the very least, missed out on a draw. And the seniors have come under fire for what continues to be a horrid series for them in particular. We'll start at the top with Rohit Sharma. The captain came under heavy criticism for his captaincy as well as his batting. The Aussies in particular have been harsh, and that's an understatement. We'll start with the Aussie media. They seem to be stooping down to some very crass reportage. There are some serious question marks being raised over Rohit's future. The sharpest critique coming from the Australian commentators.
If I was a selector now, I'd be saying, Rohit, thank you for your service. You've been a great player, but we're going to bring in Jaiswal Bumrah as captain for the MCG, and that's the end of your career. I think they've given him that leniency already because he's been a great player for India. At some stage, that leniency has got to stop, and it stops after this test match.
I wasn't in favour of Team India's decision to drop Shubman Gill and pick Washington Sundar for the fourth test. It's beyond my comprehension. And why did you demote your most consistent batter KL Rahul? Rohit should have come at number 3 himself. These questions will certainly be raised. Next innings will decide Rohit Sharma's test future.
The Indian media and the internet has also gone crazy with the memes and the comments coming in thick and fast calling for Rohit Sharma's retirement. Indian selectors will definitely be keen to have that honest conversation with Rohit Sharma just to see where things stand at this point, where the vision is. In fact, Rohit himself, right at that press conference after this defeat, seemed quite circumspect and disappointed with himself.
As a captain, yes, that is disappointing. Yes, as a batter as well. A lot of things that I'm trying to do are not falling into place. But mentally it's disturbing without a doubt. There are things that we as a team need to look at, and I personally need to look at as well. There's a game to go.
And the contrast is just so stark because captains lead by example. On the other side, you had someone like Pat Cummins, who'd attest to this. He did that in this test with both ball and bat. Those runs that the lower half of their batting lineup made in that second innings was so crucial, something India just couldn't do while chasing. Next up in the firing line is Virat Kohli. Sure, his energy, his exuberance is infectious. It sometimes really lifts the team up, but did that run-in with teenager Sam Konstas at the start really backfire? Did that create that added pressure on Kohli to fire and score, make those big runs? Because he ended up failing to score big in both the innings. Was involved in an unnecessary mix-up with Yashasvi Jaiswal, causing a collapse thereafter. Was the pressure of the intense situation all a bit too much? Because contrastingly, the youngster, Sam Konstas, in fact, youngsters really ruling the roost at Melbourne, soaked it all up and had a field day throughout the test. Misery loves company, and the last 2 days proved to be an example of that for India. Rishabh Pant came under flack for the kind of shots he opted to play in both the innings, earning the anger of Sunil Gavaskar, particularly for what happened in that first innings.
Stupid, stupid, stupid. That is throwing away your wicket. Not in the situation that India was in. You have to understand the situation well. You cannot say that is your natural game. That is a stupid shot. That is letting down your team badly. He should not be going in that dressing room. He should be going to the other dressing room.
And chasing a mammoth 300-plus target on day 5, facing a very clinical bowling, was never going to be easy. Jaiswal, of course, stood his ground for a while. He top scored, but really no solid support coming from the other end at all. Rishabh Pant looked good only to give it away again. Rohit Sharma post the match, in fact, saying that he has mixed reactions on the way Rishabh Pant got out and that he needs to realize himself what is required of him at various situations. That only speaks about how deflated that dressing room will be looking right about now. This loss in MCG ought to hurt. India will be dejected. They will want to answer some of those questions before they take that field in Sydney. Drastic changes is not good no matter the scenario, no matter the situation. It only rattles the ship more than steadies it. Having said that, fortune only favours the brave. Will India make some bold choices for Sydney? Rohit Sharma ended the press conference saying they do not make personal decisions. Decisions are made thinking of the team's goals and not that of individuals. Will that thought see more truth come Sydney?